Now, let's settle for details. And the Ghana Police Service has arrested 6 robbery suspects in connection with series of robberies, including carjacking in the Greater Accra and Central regions. The arrests were made between 15th and 17th April 2022. In a signed statement, the Director of Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service, Alexander Kweko, said a locally manufactured gun and a foreign manufactured pistol were cache of ammunition that were retrieved. Now, according to the statement, the police, through a targeted intelligence-led operation between the period of April 15th and April 17, 2022, have arrested 6 armed robbery suspects in connection with series of robberies, including carjacking in the Greater Accra and Central region. Now, the 6 suspects, Musa alias Danturi, Hassan Sampa, Daniel Akwa, Anthony Saki, Michael Ojo, and Ade Boja were arrested at various locations across the 2 regions. Items retrieved so far from the suspect are 1 locally manufactured gun, 1 foreign pistol, a cache of ammunition, 2 iPhones, and 4 wristwatches. 1 of the stolen vehicles has also been retrieved. Now, the suspect, who have admitted during interrogation to their involvement in robberies over the years, are helping the police in investigations. We have made contact with some of the victims as part of the strategy that, according to the police, to give them closure with regards to the unpleasant experience with these armed robbers. According to the police, again, they would like to commend the anti-robbery squad at the CID headquarters for leading this operation. Now, the police says all criminals and their cohort must advise themselves and know that they can run, but they can never hide. The police will do whatever it takes to come after all of them and bring them to justice. That's the assurance the police is given. Now, the police again says they would like to assure the public that the police remain committed to making a safe and secure environment for all, and they therefore urge all of us to continue to help and support the police. This is signed by Superintendent Alexander Kweku Obeng, Director of Public Affairs. Now, some residents of Nsawam are protesting the demolition of their homes. About 20 of them slept in the open because their properties were thrown out of their rooms. They say armed men forced them out of their homes this dawn, claiming their lands have been bought. They blocked roads to register their displeasure.
I did 2 o'clock. And you say, your light are off. It's like I said, your light off. I pretend to pay. Who be able to not 20 also? Pay. On board, Dabi, I can't get pay. Not that good. You knew here, Obi Macan train. You knew near my coso. It's already the Kofiakwa. And I always sign a man. On near Maternity, on Casa San Dia. The Kodia Sino Nima Kata. Nima Kata, on the cinema. On also of us as a mobile. It's in my cosui, a GSM. Nano last week, Sunday. You also had who say transformer at to pay. Said I want and then one fuse I walk transformer no and the light off. They said that transformer blow last week, you know. Now go about pressing. And a transformer no at 2:20 so done. And then 2 minutes call police station 2 o'clock. Machine is here. Machine is here. No police station. Or be into the name here. Go back, you are cheating by 3 times. I go police station. And then the boys know who do fear, none of the boys know fear. No one said to work, I said, who? And I'm a boss here. Who my report to police station? No one else book us. No one else book us. And that's yes, sir. IGP Dampare, Nadaroma. Oba who's a Ghana police to Kurenim. Offer Nancy from number Pampas number 1. I'm a Paina Kufuado, Nadaroma. Yes, run. Anna, young MP, honorable MP, Frank another pre, Wadaroma, honorable. Kavium, Pampas number 1, Ayo Chrome. Kadesi. I had a four, Mamma, maybe. Subby, Yarafua, young manaso, no what done I did a swim. Nay, Buddha Gunuso. I wasn't being a gosso. Ghana, you're saying. Ghana, you're saying.
Say, Tunu. The one which is a pure diabetes, and say. And I'm sorry, Miss Opia, Miss Latin, Sodum Preco. Latin, do not me pay, no me pay penna. No, some man for dosu, could you. Tobacco, you're tuning me so. I'm so. Then I also MP and as I said, the anti-MP and my uncle, and Miss Marty. And the empire in your feed mouse, there be a quanio. Into me, and I'm from me, Banus on P. Me came from me, Banus on P. Until near by any, not me, Banus P. I feel happy and some person ever cover be also mine to an uncle baby. Into Mucha, on a Musa, who Marco Denasi and say. Never was having a mobile field, Martin, and Mudre down a gui. I'm waiting for me a police for an accident. Only a police for. Only a police for. Young mamma said, oh, me, them young in our say, Manaba Kupo. Manaba Kupo. My name is Council.
Maybe some Niman Katani chairman or Tradia. Maybe some is Mankata way. And yes, I ain't a Janet Yabo. But I do say, yes, I would do an incosia way. Ever sir, dear Ben, I call. But on my hand, next year, I dear where I cost only movie. Obianyadi. Oh, because BBC not the end, we are. Yeah, as I say, I'm meeting soon. Yeah, the number 1911. Was a crata. Woman, where Nipatemo, I say, Mimisa. But woman better Hannah Tressa, Mammy Wales, what more than over 150 years, and I said 200 and something years.
140 years.
Oh, Nasa Anna, Sikanibre, Entino, Mino, Maya Bibi, Media Yamiho, na Unia, Minia, Ahana Otinaya, because of Abia and Nikrata, Abia Okitafiti, old one, Ira, Anasa Onibi, Anasa Ira, now the Patapa. And you did have a assassin at your friends. Share near SCN. I am mobile. It's a problem. It's a problem. I don't know.
Now, the Municipal Chief Executive of Nsawam, Isaac Kojo Boabeng, has been speaking to us on this development.
Mama nyade mo be yesano sebe asase o de cry say court any determine say asase o de ntino demolition order ebe brain crop isi a bisa nkrofo no omo ama demolition order cry no mo be den omo be bubu say bubu no omo lawful act no omo ye o say omo de mafia we na be bubu we don't know now. Nti assembly nya police. Nti police divisional command ankasa wa ha. Mene no akasa say okwan a obefa so a obehwe case ye nyina ye nitua. Ye be di achi na ya hwe na won be yesa no. Emra no won be di.
Now, moving on to other stories. One of the objectives of governments planting for food and jobs was to enhance agricultural production and strengthen local industries. But this is being thwarted. The local poultry industry is now hanging on hopes because there is a short supply of soya bean and maize, which are the main component of the feed industry. Now, though production levels for soya bean have increased since the implementation of the PFJ, foreign invasion is thwarting the impact on the ground. Prince Appiah, in his latest documentary, investigates these developments. Here are excerpts.
Our government in 2017 introduced its flagship agriculture industrialization program, Planting for Food and Jobs, meant to enhance production.
With good farming policies and incentives, Ghana would end the disgraceful spectacle of importing foodstuffs from neighboring countries. To the millions of farmers in farming communities and villages in all parts of Ghana, I'm happy to inform you that planting for food and jobs is the basis of the answer to this twin problem with which you have been confronted in recent years.
Soya bean was one of them. Government, through the Planting for Food and Jobs, has increased the production levels of soya bean in the growing areas. But the impact on the local market cannot be seen. Here at the Abuabu market in Tamale, we meet Alhaji Abdul Karim, a soya bean aggregator and supplier for 15 years. Before now, he supplied 400 bags of soya bean every week to his buyers. But in the past few months, he struggles to get that. He had received only 2 bags from traders, though it was a market day today.
By 2 months in me load 100 kilos bags no buy 400 bags for full articulator. And then by 2 months me load more. Yesterday is Bushago market. Bushago Juano na me 200 bags. A cargo soon between 100 and that's 150. And the same week no nyina bet my load. But and Bushago market no 2 bags money here. Time by the bet man ya had do 400 bags. Na me my company. But any forwardness no antimi compare.
So we moved to Yendi to meet other aggregators of the commodity. This area of the market is where shops of soya bean traders and suppliers are located. At this time of the day, the market should be busy. But today, these shops are locked. The traders can afford to play some games because market is slow. Meet Mohammed Seidu. He has been dealing in soya bean for close to 10 years now. He opens his almost empty shop with only 10 bags of 100 kilos of soya bean that can hold 300 bags. Whilst in the market, we witnessed one of Seidu's suppliers bring him just a bowl of soya bean, which seems to have become the trend.
This woman used to sell at least 10 bags for us every week. Now she came with only 2 bowls. That is what she got in the market.
He says the foreigners, especially of Indians, have taken over the market.
At first, you could have a week, you could have loaded at least more than 500 bags or 1,000 bags a week. But now, to get even 300 to supply to your people is difficult.
Seidu is worried the situation is impacting negatively on their businesses.
So, this is April. Something that we're supposed to get shortage of service, something like September going. So that maybe October the new one will start coming. So look at this thing. So from April, May, June, July, August, I think there will not be soybeans.
We can process 100 tons of soya beans a day, and the refinery can do 20 tons a day. So we process 100 tons and we refine 20 tons of oil a day if we have the raw material. Since we started, for lack of raw material, the highest we've been able to do is 70 tons a day. It's not that the efficiency is not good or the capacity we cannot meet, but just that we don't have enough raw materials. Very unfortunately, our market has been open to foreigners to do anything that they want. They go to the farm gate to buy directly from the farmers. So we are actually short of supply to even run the operations. The season begins in October, and we are in March, and there's no soya bean in the system. So October again. So you can imagine how the situation is affecting us. Coupled with the fact that there's nowhere people could go and then go into the Ghanaian can't go into India and go to the farms and start buying. You have to deal with the institutions. Ghana, we have commodity exchange. Why are they not buying from the commodity exchange, like regulated market, or maybe buy from the aggregators in the markets? But they go to the farm gate directly to buy from the farms. And if you go to the market today and the price is 100 Ghana cedis, you offer 100 Ghana cedis, the next day you go, these guys are giving them 120. So they keep pushing the price up. It's greatly affecting our business. Some of our colleagues have shut down already. And looking at the situation, I may shut down next week. We don't have anything to work with.
And currently, as I'm speaking to you, about 80% to 90% of all the processors have shut down. All of them. Because I know Ghana Nut is not working currently. It's not producing or processing soya. Vesta Oil, which I believe is not also processing. Dragon, the same. We have Quality Farm, which is also not processing, just because there's no raw material. If you tell them the price and also sit down and do their computations, there's no way they can also make a margin. So the best is to shut down.
This is a sad development which has gotten people talking. One of them is the executive director of the Media Foundation for West Africa, Suleiman Brahima, who says the challenges in the agri sector show that the Ministry of Agriculture has been persistently churning out inaccurate information about the success of the Planting for Food and Jobs program. He was reacting to a set of Joy News' latest online documentary.
One of the ministries in this country that has been churning out very, wrong and false information has been the Ministry of Agriculture.
I mean, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture has been churning a lot of false information.
Exactly. And I think that the Planting for Food and Agriculture, Planting for Food and Jobs is certainly a great initiative. Unfortunately, whatever that is good about the initiative perhaps has been taken away by the high level of propaganda and the high level of misinformation that is often churned out by that ministry in terms of our food production capacity and rates, and in terms of what is happening in our agricultural sector. I think the minister himself has consistently been putting out false information. He's always been exposed for the wrong information that is put out there, but it appears that it doesn't deter him. And that is why we are where we are. We get the false information and the false hope that we are doing well in terms of our food production capacity and how much we need in our country to feed ourselves and so on and so forth, all for the sake of political propaganda. And I think that if we don't move away from that, if we had time, I could give you figures and statements that the minister has, been putting out there, which are all false and creates a certain false hope.
Suleiman, we don't have that much time, but I would like you to touch on, if you can, briefly, because I didn't know you would go off on this tangent. I would like you to touch on one or two briefly. You can just mention which specific issues, and we can take it from there.
So, for example, if you take our soybean production, for example, the minister on February 3rd, in a meeting with Tony Blair, put out a false information that, before 2017, when this government came to power, Ghana was producing less than 100,000 metric tons of soybean a year, which was false. And then he went on to say that since coming into power, the soybean production has increased to 250,000 metric tons, which again is false, because the latest information, the latest figures by his own ministry indicates that even as of 2020, where the figures were available, we were not doing up to 210,000 metric tons. And even the projection for 2021 was not even up to more than 215,000 metric tons. So you ask yourself, why would the ministers sit and say publicly that we are doing like 250,000 tons when he knows that that is not true? He talks about maize production, in another encounter. And in fact, on this occasion, he even contradicts himself in terms of what he tells Parliament and what he says during his own vettings, in terms of vetting to be a minister, in terms of the figures when it comes to our maize production. He talks about the fact that, we were doing less than 1.8 metric tons of maize production before 2017, which is false, because the World Bank figures even indicates as of 2012, we were doing as high as 1.95.
Suleiman Brahima is the Executive Director of the Media Foundation for West Africa. Now, civil construction works on the maternity and children's block at the Konfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital is 75% complete. Now, contractors, however, say the total work done on the project is 15% as they race to complete it within schedule. The project was reactivated in 2020 after a Joy News documentary which highlighted the plight of mothers and babies at the hospital due to lack of space. Nanya Ojuma visited the project with Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei Mensah and filed this report.
Presently, Contractors are completing the 6th and final floor of the structure. The project execution is undertaken day and night. Consultant for the project, Emmanuel Fobi Asabre, explains efforts are being made to complete the project on schedule.
We've done about 25% of the suspended floor, and we intend to complete the final roof level. So this is the habitable space, minus the space that has been donated by contractor based on the end user's request. Financial requested for a space in the roof space, and contractor has been generous enough to provide this space at no cost to the project. And this is something we continue to be grateful for contractor. And not just that, there has been a lot of other accommodative things that they have managed to support the project, to ensure that we deliver a project that is good enough and one that meets the international standards.
The 750-bed facility under construction replaces the old mother and baby unit, whose construction was abandoned for about 45 years. The new project is being constructed with a 155 million euro loan facility. It will have modern pediatric, gynecologist and obstetrics units and serve as referral center for 12 of 16 regions in the country. It comes with 10 operating theaters and diagnostic rooms fully equipped. Works at the Aferi Hospital has stalled for some time after attaining a 95% rate of completion. Subcontractors on the project had requested an extra $36 million, which was renegotiated to $19 million, but government has since changed contractors. Engineer Abu Shama is main site manager.
And as you see here that we have started already the work on site. There is manpower already, and the labor and technicians start working already, and the number will be increased in due course days to be work with full capacity. So this is the final update for the 500-bed project.
Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osemensa, who has been inspecting the site, reveals government has plans to complete all these projects.
The commitment of the government is seen in the fact that at least the fair three payments are smooth. You see, they are not having any payment challenges. Here there was problem, and because the government is concerned, that is why they've tried to resolve the problem, and have now found a finality to this problem. And we having a new contractor to continue with the job. If the government is not concerned, it wouldn't have taken the pain to resolve these problems that we're having here.
Now, what do you do when you eat something good? You ask for more. Such is the story of the beneficiaries of Joy Easter Soup Kitchen, who are asking for more after enjoying delicious jollof rice and chicken prepared by Joy FM presenters. Excited laborers and kayayes at the Malata market have already made additional bookings for jollof in Easter of 2023. Now, about 2,000 packs were sent to them on Easter Sunday as part of Joy FM's corporate social responsibility to serve the underprivileged. They were wanting and craving for more.
And that is a satisfied Susubox maker at the Malamata market. He had just finished consuming a pack of the Easter Soup Kitchen jollof rice. The meal made his evening.
I got some of the food. It is very delicious. You have done so well for us.
About 2,000 packs of jollof and assorted drinks, biscuits packaged by Joy FM presenters, clients and listeners put a smile on the faces of the less privileged at Malamata. After a 2-year-long break, Lexus, Sammy Folson, Kofi Hayford, Bredash, Hagler were just a few of the many presenters who eagerly made the return of the Joy FM Easter Soup Kitchen a better one.
We've been cutting a lot of carrots, cooking jollof, onions, frying chicken, everything, and it's going very well.
I've been in charge of preparing jollof, so this is just a bit of what we are doing. I am in charge of one set of it, and I think it's going well so far.
As you can see, some are cutting vegetables, others are, frying the chicken, and others are doing the stew. And so it's a concerted effort.
I've been cutting carrots. I've been doing it at home to the point that it felt like it was so easy to cut.
I had to grill the chicken and make sure that it was ready for the jollof. And of course, we had to, after everything, pick the chicken out of the stock into the basket.
No, it's going well. I mean, like you can tell, it looks very good already. And I'm sure it's going to taste fire.
Boys to men jollof. It is going very well. He's a jollof specialist. I'm the stirrer.
This is going to be the best jollof today.
But feeding 2,000 mouths wasn't an easy task. A great deal of help came from our listeners and clients.
My name is Emmanuel Nino Thompson. I'm here to help for the Star Soup Kitchen. We are frying some chicken and adding some jollof rice as well.
My name is Gertrude and I'm Baden. I came to support my son.
I'm Mabel Ramsay. I'm coming from Afram Plains. I just want to see whether everything is real, because I've been watching some of your programs and I want to witness this one.
My name is Erdman, so I'm very happy to be here, to be part of this event.
My grandson likes catering, so he's participating in it, so I have to come and help him.
All that was supervised by professional chefs who ensure the food going out met the best quality.
I'm here to help, to contribute what God has given me as a talent to make this whole program a cheerful one.
Actually, we didn't start today. We started since yesterday. Yes, so we came here very early in the morning. We worked throughout the night and then we continued today just for the sake of the community and the people.
After several hours of cooking and packaging, it was only fair for those who did the work have a nice time. Indeed, Easter Sunday was fulfilling to help serve food to those who couldn't afford it. Mami C. Thompson for Joy News.
And I assure you of better dancing moves next year when we have this event. But taking you back to Kumasi, there is the edition of LFM's Family Party in the Park. Promises to be super exciting as families are ready to join in the fun of the season. Organizers say the event on Easter Monday at the Rattray Park will have everything for the young and the old. Emmanuel Bright Kweku has more in this report.
Easter is one of the most anticipated seasons on the Ghanaian calendar. It comes after 40 days of fasting and prayers in some churches. Easter, often celebrated by Christians, is characterized by conventions in remembrance of the death of Christ.
I'll go for church service, but in the morning I'll rest a little bit because we will be tired very much today. So
most of the Easter time I'm here at work. Those times that I'll be in the house, I go to church after church. I just be in the house with my family. That's all.
So what I want to do, if I get money, I'll take my children to a enjoyable place to see certain things. When they come, then I give them some malt and the food that they eat.
Normally, during Easter, I also go to church. After church, and we go out with my boys. That's what I normally do.
After all the prayers and confessions are said at the church, all road leads to the Kumasi Rattray Park. It's the Love FM family party in the park. The New Year's edition saw families bonding and making merry. Event organizer Eric Inkum is promising a more exciting and bigger event this Easter.
The Easter edition, I think the last time we had the Easter edition of the family party in the park was about 3 years ago because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So this is the first of its kind for about 3 years. And this one promises to be amazing. It's going to be fun. The reason why I'm saying this is because the New Year's edition, because we still had the COVID protocols to follow, there were some few restrictions. This time, we are bringing the biggest pool, swimming pool in Ashanti. We didn't see that. And that is the biggest. And you know, we're not bringing just one, two. So the kids love to swim. You know, kids love swimming. So we're saying that bring these kids, let them come and swim. Let them come and make new friends. This is where all the fun is going to happen. On Monday, 18th of April 2022 at the Ratri Park here. So come and let's have fun. It's a holiday.
So this is where all the merrymaking will be happening on Easter Monday. So come with your friends, your loved ones, and enjoy some quality time. For Joy News, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
Now, you might have tried beef, pork, or even turkey as options for festivities like Easter. But have you ever thought about grilled crocodile meat or ox testicles as your main protein source for a dish? Well, that's the question that winners of the 2021 NSMQ from Prempeh College and their teachers were asked at the Carnivore restaurant in Nairobi, Kenya, as part of their all-expense-paid Nairobi-Dubai tour organized by Adanse Travels. My colleague Manuel Kranting was there when they finally made a choice. Here's more.
Behind us, there's the famous Carnivore grill, the biggest grill in Kenya.
That is the lead attendant at the Carnivore restaurant at Langata in Nairobi, Kenya, where winners of the 2021 National Science and Maths Quiz are touring before they finally transit to Dubai. Before here, the team was at the Giraffe Center, feeding hungry giraffes at close proximity. It's been a long 5.5-hour flight from Accra, and everyone is hungry. So the attendant at the Carnivore restaurant runs us through the menu.
An assortment of crocodile and ostrich meatballs and bull testicles. You sample everything, even the beef, the lamb, the chicken. It's a place to be. We carve it systematically, slowly, until you get tired. Oh, there's a flag. Yes, you throw the flag down like a sign of surrender.
The menu at this restaurant has already got everyone on this trip salivating, even though a lot of us are indecisive about what to do with the crocodile meat. Soon, the food arrives and we start eating. Meat after meat, we taste almost everything on the menu. Many of us throwing away caution to satisfy our curiosity.
I tried the ostrich, I tried the crocodile. It tastes nice. I took the pork, those ones were taking it already. The beef, all those fish were taken already. But there's extra ones we don't be taking in Ghana. I tried to take them. So they are nice, honestly. They are very nice.
The crocodile meat was extremely soft and tender, much to everyone's surprise. Were these reptiles hunted from ponds?
Very good. Where did you get the crocodile from? We do rear crocodiles. You rear your own crocodiles here? Not really. I see. Just from the farm.
Kenyans are generally heavy meat lovers. Some of us weren't. So in no time, we gave up. And as required, we took down our flag with a lot of testimonies about the food.
Yes. Okay, let's surrender. Who's doing the flag for us? Bring down the flag. Okay. Yes. Look at our place. Our place is evidence of very full stomachs. So,
what was your favorite?
My favorite was the beef, grilled beef. Really spicy. The salt level was good. I loved it. I tried the balls, not so much. I need to go at it again. Crocodile, a bit hard, tough for me, but yeah. Apart from that, but the food is good. The food is good. The pork ribs, amazing.
The waiters are disappointed we gave up too soon because they had so much more meat coming up. And maybe that's why they gave us a free invite for our next visit. For now, though, we are on the next flight to Dubai. Manuel Kranting, Joy News, Nairobi.
Well, the team has safely landed in Dubai with the contestants from all the schools which were in the grand finale. We'll take a quick break. We will return with business.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Business News here on Joy News today. My name is Beverly Broom. The total amount of Ghana cedis in circulation for last year witnessed significant increase over that of 2020. It went up by almost 2 billion cedis to hit 25 billion Ghana cedis. Here is more in this report.
Financial statement of the Bank of Ghana showed that out of the 25 billion Ghana cedis that was in circulation, 24.8 billion were in notes, while 365 million cedis were in coins. The value of 200 cedi notes in circulation was pegged at 6.5 billion cedis, followed by 100 cedi notes, which was pegged at 4.3 billion cedis. Despite the 200, 100 and 20 cedi notes going up, some, like 50 and 10 cedi notes, show a reduction in terms of the value in circulation. However, when you look at the total amount of circulation in terms of its value, it went up by almost 2 billion cedis in 1 year. But the question that many analysts are asking is that could it be one of the main drivers of inflation, which has witnessed consistent rise over the past 5 months to hit 19.4 ending March this year?
The amount of money that you put aside for purchase of fuel for your vehicle is expected to go down marginally for the next 2 weeks. This because oil marketing firms have started reducing prices at the pumps. There's more in the following report.
Based on data from the bulk oil distribution companies, diesel is expected to be reduced by some 26 pesos per litre, while petrol will go down to 6 pesos. This should mean that a litre of diesel from this week will be sold at 10 cedis 3 pesos if you're working with the price codes of gold on the market. Petrol, on the other hand, should be sold at 9 cedis 29 pesos. According to the bulk oil distributors, the marginal reduction can be linked to the declining price of crude prices on the international market and a fairly stable Ghana cedi. For some consumers, this may not be described as so much of a good news, looking at the margin of reduction that should be happening from this week, given the recent development on the exchange market where the cedi is stabilizing against the dollar and the Bank of Ghana's decision to guarantee the sale of dollars to aid imports. Some consumers were looking forward to a bigger reduction at the pumps. Well, for some, the assurance is that if current trends on the world market continue, the price of crude will reduce further. This then should result in further reduction of petroleum prices at the pumps this week.
Meanwhile, Joy Business is learning one of the market leaders, Total, is now selling a litre of petrol at 9 cedis 30 pesos and diesel is going for 10 cedis 45 pesos. More major oil marketing firms are expected to drop their prices. Dean of Sustainable Development at the University of Environment and Sustainable Development, Professor Anthony Amwa, has reiterated the need for government to invest more in the development of micro, medium and small enterprises. According to him, when enterprises are cushioned by lowering the cost of inputs imported from their operations, it will boost the economy.
So I think that in terms of government planning, the government must be conscious of the contribution of the micro, medium and small enterprises. We can even add the large enterprises. What government can do is to ensure that if they are bringing raw materials from other countries, inputs from other countries, at least the cost involved in doing that business wouldn't be too high, and that borders on the exchange rate. Then again, when they bring the goods in and they produce, at least they should be able to sell at a reasonable price to make their returns. So we are also careful about the fact that the price levels will not be volatile. Once these things exist, then that will be detrimental to the growth in that sector, and it wouldn't augur well for them to also contribute much to Ghana's GDP.
That's all for Business Now. We have more business stories when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Up next is sports.
We can do sports now on Joy News today. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullah. Former Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan has called on Ghanaians to lower their expectations of the team ahead of the FIFA World Cup to be staged in Qatar. Gyan, who donned the national team jersey for 16 years and played at 3 different mundials, believes the team is relatively young, so demands should not be high on them.
Honestly, when, example, I take myself as an example. When if I'm a coach, and I play football, like my team goes to the field, and we don't create chances enough. If we don't create chances, me, the coach, will be worried. I want my team to create chances and miss. When we miss, we know we will be able to create opportunities and everything, and that is the positive thing. And we have some days that everybody always, it wasn't your day. Create the chances, but when you don't create at all, and then we are watching and you don't create any chance at all, I'll be worried. You understand? For example, before when Black Star is going, this guy will do it, this one will do it. But this is a new generation altogether. Sometimes when we are going to, you don't know where the goals will come from.
Okay.
But it's a generational thing. Somebody will say, 1962 for no, yeah, they're saying 1984. So it's a generational thing. But it's a new team that we're building. Ghana is building. You see new faces, young players coming up. It's a new thing. For me, my advice, we should lower our expectations for now. And then build the new team.
Because why should we lower our expectations for now?
Because we know we are Ghana. We have done it before. Coming to this level, we are Ghana. But maybe the players involved are not maybe ready enough. So we should give them time, to make sure they get there. When you put pressure, it's very, very difficult. A player going to replace Messi at Barcelona. There's pressure. So the fans have to just.
Meanwhile, skipper Andre Ayew has disagreed with fans who claim a captain of the Black Stars should not be playing in the UAE, but rather in one of the top leagues in Europe. The 32-year-old said his predecessor, Gyan, had his best days in the national team while playing in the UAE.
Like I said, he was the one who told me that the league there is not easy at all. It's very hard, and we could see it because... You mean
Asamoah Gyan?
Yeah, Asamoah Gyan, yes. We could see that his moments when he was in Alain was when he scored the most goals for the Black Stars. So when you look at all that, I was like, yeah, it's true. So, he went there, made a massive impact, not just in the UAE league, but in the whole of the Gulf. When you look at his statistics in the Ghana Black Stars, when he came to Alain was when he had the most goals for the Ghana Black Stars and broke most of the records that he broke. So he broke the records here, and he was telling me that it's not easy. That was when he was here and I was in Europe. He was telling me it's not easy at all. He has to be fit, he has to be ready. If not, he can't make it. And he made an impact also at the World Cup playing in Alain. So for me, I think looking at what he has done, looking at what other players has done, players like Gomes and Brahimi and Buneja and all of them in this league, Sassi for Tunisia, I looked at it and said, no, there is a level there, and if I have the opportunity to take it and be able to be in one of the biggest clubs in the Gulf, I'll take it. And I'm happy to be here, and I'm realizing that things are going on well.
And since breaking into the scene in 2003, he played 12 consecutive tournaments, and his career also included music as well as boxing. That is the story of Black Stars captain, former Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan. On April 30, he is going to release his book, which he says tells unheard stories of his life of scoring goals for the national team, venturing into music and controversies that have marked his illustrious career. He's been sharing what to expect on the Super Morning Show.
Level would you be playing your next football? Would it be local club? Are you thinking international?
International, I don't know. But locally, yes. That one, I'm sure about that. You know, if I want to play, I have to play locally.
Liberty or Hearts?
Kotoko.
Thank you. Baby Jet.
Why did you skip Kotoko?
No, she's a Hearts of Oak fan.
How can you do Liberty and go to Kotoko?
I'm a huge Kotoko fan.
Oh.
Thank you. Huge. You know, but Accra Suffolk, for all these years, you know, I was born in Accra. You know, I admire them from afar. I some of the players I played with played in Accra Suffolk, who are my friends. You know, so I can never disrespect Accra Suffolk, but I'm a Kotoko huge fan. You know, it doesn't mean if I see Accra Suffolk, I will be no. They are a huge club, but I've got my team that I support. You know, and so they
you want to play for that team.
I'm disappointed. I shouldn't have asked the question.
Oh, no, in fact, we are proud of you, so we'll continue to be proud of you.
Thank you.
When you launch the book, but I'm just curious. What are some? I mean, I'm told it's about your football life. So what's in there?
Yeah, it's about my football life. You know, where I was born. You know, in my football life, what everybody knows. You know, there are certain things that everybody knows. You know, everybody knows that Samajan, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but what about the things we don't know?
Yeah, that is what is in the book. You know, I don't want to reveal it. You know, that is what people will find out in the book. Sometimes there are things that people might not know about me. You know, maybe they see me like that, and then they talk about it. You know.
Or we think we know, but we don't know all.
Yes, no, there are certain things that Ghanaians know. You know, when you say 51 goals, everybody knows I've scored 51 goals. Everybody saw me scoring against America. You know, people didn't know what went like behind the scene before these things happen. You know, controversies. Sometimes they'll say, "Oh, Asamajan has done this," you know, but you find out what really happened or this kind of things. You know, it's scandals. There are a lot of all these things in the book. You know, at the end of the day, we are here to encourage people. Asamajan is an icon right now. People look up to me. I read books in the past. Sometimes page 1 can change your life.
True.
You know, so there are a lot of things, and I think me and my team, we've got about 350 pages, right?
Asamajan, what a player he was. Hopefully, we'll see him soon again playing for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, the club he's a huge fan of. This is how we wrap up sports here on Joy News today. Up next is World News.
And thank you so much for your company. Thanks for staying with us. That's all in our bulletin for today. For more, log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace. Coming up next is Marketplace with Darryl Cole.